Thank you for joining us. I'm joined here with several members from the Harris County Sheriff's Office. To my left, we have Major Razzo, we have Captain Melanson, Captain Morrison, Captain Smith, we have Captain Coons, we have Captain Annie, we have Wendy and David Mills as well with the Kailee Mills Foundation, and so we'll be hearing from them shortly. But a while back, I really took interest in learning more about Kailee Mills' story. It really impacted and touched me for a number of reasons. But just the tragedy of the situation, I guess, is something that really has a lasting impact. Here we have a beautiful young lady of only 16 years old, in the prime of her life, just really a bright, bright future. She was a student at Klein High School. She had a 4.3 GPA. Her dreams were to go to Texas A&M, and she was doing great stuff. She was active in her church. She was active with causes that were important to her. She volunteered, and so this was someone that was going to have such a bright, bright light, and she was taken much too soon. And this really happened in an instant. She was with some friends. They were traveling just about a mile away for a Halloween party, so it's been less than a year. And just in the blink of an eye, she took off her seatbelt to take a selfie, and a tragedy struck. The vehicle went off the roadway. She was ejected from the vehicle and lost her life. Now, why is that important? It's because her friends did have their seatbelts on, and they survived with minor injuries. And so it really highlights the importance of wearing that seatbelt at all times. And accidents of this sort are still the #1 cause of fatalities in this country, ages 1 to 54. So here at the Sheriff's Office, for us, it's very important to help raise awareness to our community. It's a shared responsibility, and so it's something that we want to make sure that we're doing our part, and we also want to make sure that we're informing and educating the community, because we want them to have successful lives and be able to, just live their lives to the fullest, and we want them to be safe, either from serious injury or from death. Here recently, we've seen a number of factors that have gone into some accidents. We've seen those that weren't wearing seatbelts. At times, they were under the influence, and like we had last night, another fatality due to traveling at a high rate of speed. So we're very excited to be joining with the Kailee Mills Foundation. We're going to be working on a number of initiatives. Those initiatives stretch from doing seatbelt safety checks once the school year rolls around, where we're going to be partnering with the Kailee Mills Foundation so that we can bring awareness to students as they kick off the school year. So we'll be doing that. We also want to raise awareness about the Kailee Mills Foundation.org website, so that if you want to get involved, you can learn more about their work and find out efforts that they have underway. And then we're also going to be working on an initiative at some point as well. We're putting the finishing touches where we'll also get our patrol deputies involved so that they can raise awareness whenever they encounter a citizen or someone that's not wearing their seatbelt. It still happens very often. In Kailee's situation, you never had to remind her to wear her seatbelt. She always did. She was very, not only to herself, but everyone else, she would always remind them. And so she knew to do the right thing, and unfortunately just took let her guard down that particular moment, unfortunately. And so, but I want to commend the Mills family for using her story to shed a positive light, to use her pain that's never going to diminish for the rest of their lives, but to use it in ways as Kailee would have wanted, is to make an impact on others, just as she did in a very short life. And so we're here to, again, raise awareness. Saying a few words in Spanish, estamos aquí para apoyar la fundación de Kailee Mills. Kailee Mills fue una jovencita de solamente 16 años que perdió su vida en octubre del año 2017. Kailee solamente iba en un carro, era una pasajera, estaba sentado en el asiento de atrás. Iba solamente en menos de una milla o una fiesta con sus amigas. Cuando se quitó el cinturón, se estaba tomando un selfie y pasó una tragedia. El carro se salió de la vía, de la carretera, se accidentó y ella saltó del carro y murió. Entonces eso ha sido un golpe muy duro para los padres, pero ellos vieron que sus compañeros en el carro todos pudieron sobrevivir el accidente con heridas muy pequeñas. Entonces realmente podemos ver cómo es tan importante usar el cinturón. Entonces les pedimos al público que usen esta oportunidad para tener más conciencia sobre este problema, porque a veces nos quitamos el cinturón ya cuando vamos a llegar a la casa. Ella estaba a menos de 400 yardas de su casa. Era una jovencita de 16 años con mucha vida por delante, y queremos que otros tengan la oportunidad, pues que lamentablemente ya no puede, ya no tiene ya. Entonces vamos a trabajar con ellos al comenzar el año escolar, vamos a trabajar con las escuelas para dar información. And we're going to also be helping promote some of these stickers that are a reminder of Kailee and to buckle up, and it's something that we're going to be working with them to spread the message. So we encourage you to go to the website, KaileeMillsFoundation.org, learn more, get one of these stickers, help spread the word. Let's make a difference working together. So at this point, I want to invite Mr. David Mills and Wendy Mills as well, so that they can come up and share their story.
Thank you, Sheriff Gonzalez. On behalf of the Kailee Mills Foundation, myself and my wife Wendy, we just want to thank Sheriff Gonzalez. We're so honored that they are helping us spread this message and partnering with us on raising awareness. Harris County Sheriff's Office is the third largest in the country. It's the largest in Texas. So this is a huge opportunity to work together to save lives. And the Kailee Mills Foundation started just a month after our daughter's death. You know, the type of person that my daughter was, if you knew her, she was just an absolute ray of light. She never met a stranger. She was very outgoing, a very loving, caring person. And she loved to be involved in the community. So we sat down and we thought about how we can continue her legacy in the way that she would want. And this is how we feel our daughter would have wanted us to carry on. So we want to do everything we can to make sure that there's not another family out there. You know, we want to prevent other families from going through this same tragedy. And the way we do that is we raise awareness in all kinds of ways. We do seatbelt checks at high schools as the students are leaving the parking lots. You know, if we see a student that's not wearing a seatbelt, we'll stop them and talk to them about our daughter's story and just urge them to, you know, buckle up. We also help other families that are going through this situation by raising, we throw fundraisers to raise money to provide counseling, provide assistance, and we also have a scholarship fund for kids who have lost a parent or a sibling in a car accident. And so just wanted to share those things. If you want to get involved in the Kailee Mills Foundation, there's a lot of ways to get involved. We're growing our volunteer base. You can go to our website, you can sign up to become a volunteer, or you can keep up with us on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter. We're very active on social media, and we're constantly reminding parents to have these conversations with your children. These conversations should never get old. As the sheriff mentioned, car accidents are the leading cause of death for people ages 1 through 54, and over half of those were not wearing their seatbelts. And you know, the participation in wearing your seatbelt is around 90%, but that still leaves around 30 million Americans that do not buckle up, and that's a huge number. You know, we can compare statistics all day long, but when it happens to you, you know, it's not just a statistic. This was a real person that was loved by a lot of people. And when you get in the car, the best thing you can do to protect yourself is wear your seatbelt. You know, there's a lot of people that are counting on you to make it home safely. And so if you don't want to protect yourself, please remember all those people that do love you and would be devastated if something terrible happened to you because you weren't wearing your seatbelt. It only takes 3 seconds to buckle your seatbelt, and it takes no effort to keep your seatbelt on. So once you have that seatbelt on, there's no excuse to take it off, and there's really no excuse for not wearing it. So we just want to urge you to continue to have these conversations, look out for each other. There's a lot of drivers out on the road that you don't have any control over what happens when you're a passenger in a car, or when you're driving a car. You pass thousands of cars on the road every day, and it only takes one of those cars to be out of control to put you in a situation that you can't control. So please protect yourself at all times, and just remember, we want you to buckle up for Kailee, buckle up for yourself and your loved ones, and buckle up for life. Thank you.
I always appreciate what Mr. Mills emphasizes, that even if for some reason you don't want to buckle up, do it for those that you love, that are expecting you to come home and obviously be devastated if something happened to you. And the reason that it's so important, it's that your chance of surviving increases if you have that seatbelt on. And so that's something that we want to continue to amplify, is that if you're ejected from the vehicle, the odds of you surviving that are just very difficult. And even if you did, it's probably going to be with very severe injuries that are going to be very hard to overcome. So just being able to remain inside the vehicle will give you a chance. You may have some bumps and bruises, and it could still be serious, but at least you're increasing your chances of surviving, and that's what we want to continue to inform you of. So please learn more about the foundation. We'll be spreading information as well as you go on. You'll see us very engaged with the Kailee Mills Foundation. We want to thank them for sharing their story, for having the courage to come forward. It's not easy. Again, we're coming up on the 1-year anniversary. But again, I mean, there's tremendous value in their message. It's something that deeply touched me a while back, and it's something that the Sheriff's Office is going to be very involved with going forward. Are there any questions?